Hi guys, welcome to the Citizen channel. I hope you're all staying safe and well. Please, if you are new to this channel, please push that subscribe button. We do everything City, past and present here on these little vlogs, so I do try and inform and entertain, and there's some links on screen as well for Facebook and Twitter where I do post loads of City stuff. So if you follow a friend me on there, I do check every few days and follow and friend everyone back. And if you do get a chance, please have a check out my film and TV channel as well, which I try and inform and entertain on there, and all the latest films and TV drama here in the UK and from around the world. So if you can check that out, that will be fantastic. Anyway, hope you enjoy today's feature. Right, the history, boys. Yes, today we're going back to 2006, the 26th of August 2006. As I'm recording this, not far away from that date in the season 21-22. We're going to have a look at our third game of the season, which coincidentally is our third game of the season, the 21-22 season as well. We're at home at the City of Manchester Stadium. If I say the Etihad, please forgive me. It's hard to get out of these habits, isn't it? But it was obviously probably known as Eastland still then, wasn't it? But obviously officially known as the City of Manchester Stadium anyway. Yeah, to Arsenal, yes. So there you go, third game of the season. Both teams, let's face it, in the space of 15 years as I'm recording this, were very, very different animals. And of course, we both were back in 2006. Arsenal, well, of course, they had Wenger. He was in charge at the start of his 10th season at Arsenal. So, hey, he went on to do many more, didn't he? And they just moved to their brand new shiny stadium at the Emirates. Yeah, and all the seats were full, certainly initially anyway, in the early days of those seasons, as Arsenal went from sort of averageness to winning the odd cup, to winning a good cup, winning a few cups, back to averageness. But there you go. Henry was, of course, the leading the line at that time. And the previous season, they'd finished, yes, fourth. They made a bit of a habit of that, didn't they, over the coming season? But they'd finished fourth in the Premier League. They'd been knocked out in the fourth round of the FA Cup and the semi-final in the League Cup. And unfortunately, a bit like another club, obviously, 4 or 5 months ago now, had lost a final in the Champions League. Of course, they'd been beaten by Barcelona. So Arsenal were up for it. They were hoping for another good season. Of course they were. They're a big team. They're a big team at the time. And this was only their second game, though. They'd only played actually one game. An opening day draw at the new stadium with a 1-1 scoreline against Aston Villa. As for City, well, obviously, yeah, there we go. Another season full of hope, was it, for us, the fans? A 3-0 opening day defeat to Chelsea. But having said that, they were the champions. So there you go. They were the reigning champions. So not a total disaster, but there you go. It was a bit of a disappointment. But then we had the disappointing 0-0 home draw to Portsmouth in front of not the greatest crowd of 37,214. So about 10,000 below capacity. So not great. We didn't have, we didn't always fill the Etihad at that stage, but let's be honest about it. I know we did more or less the first season or two, but obviously by this time we were getting all a bit tired, weren't we? And obviously some people were voting with defeat, unfortunately. So I say a loss to Chelsea and a draw at home to Portsmouth, not the greatest start. Of course, we had the wonderful Stuart Pearce, didn't we, as the boss, starting his second full season in charge, and Richard Dunn had just been named captain. Old Dunny, fantastic. Musampa Some and Sean Wright-Phillips were amongst those leaving the club before this season started, but we'd added to the old roster, including Dabo. Remember Dabo? I thought that used to be a game on Star Trek, didn't it? Dabo on Deep Space Nine. There you go, for you Star Trek fans. Hart, Hammond, Karadi, Trebelsi, yeah, so perhaps not some, I don't remember that too much. And there was an old face return, of course, an old hero returning in the guise of Paul Dickoff. He came in as well. And obviously, if you look at the sort of things at the time, a couple of youngsters who had been earmarked to sort of make a little bit of a breakthrough this season. A lad called Carl Moore, yeah, I don't really know too much about him, but another lad called Michael Johnson, yeah, was hinted at making a breakthrough. Away from the team, yeah, just looking at the things in and around City off the pitch. Take That and Bon Jovi, they are. Were you there? Had rocked the City of Manchester Stadium in the summertime. Did you go to any of those concerts or hang around outside to see all the young ladies? But you know, I used to do that as a kid. I remember going to the David Cassidy concert at Main Road with my mates, and we were frightened to death, all those girls. They did frighten us, I must admit, but there you go. Does it still happen? Probably not. Those were the days. Of course, we had Blue Blood. The Mike Doyle story was released in paperback. Gary James, yeah, he had another little tome out. Yeah, he'd had obviously I've got a copy here somewhere. Manchester City, the complete record. Yeah, that was being sold exclusively in the City shop. A young lady called Natalie Pike, there you go, was finding herself doing modelling work, etc., after winning stuff for City and modelling shirts, etc., which you'd probably see up there, after winning the FHM High Street Honey Award 18 months previously. I wonder what happened to Natalie Pike. I have no idea what happened to Natalie. Blue cards were added to the match day programmes. Yeah, the match day programmes were bigger than they had been, 88 pages. Yeah, these little blue cards for the kids and us big kids as well who like them sort of things. Not exactly top trumps, but a nice touch. And you got old players as well, not just the current players, but obviously you got players back in time. So that was a nice thing to add. I mean, we should do that again. I quite like those blue cards. You've probably got your own collection somewhere. They're not still in your programmes. Well, back to the game. How did it go against Arsenal? Yeah, a crowd of just over 40,000. So again, about 6,000, 6,500 short capacity. A crowd of 40,699 rolled up for a 5:15 p.m. kickoff time. So it must have been on some television channel. I'm not too sure which one. The lineups that day: City's was Weaver was in goal, Richards, Dunn, Distan, Jordan, Sinclair, Barton, Dabo, Vassell, Dickoff, and Karadi. And the subs was Mr. Mills. He came on in 80 minutes. Samaras, he came on in 86 minutes. And Miller, he came on, Ishmael, isn't it? Came on in 90 minutes. Hart and Ireland were the unused subs. For Arsenal, yeah, Arsenal had Lemon. Yeah, probably. Lehman. Sorry, that fraudulent slip there. Abue, Torre, yeah, Colo, De Juro, Hoyt, Hieb, Fabregas, Gilberto, Rosicky, Van Persie and Henry, of course. And their subs were Adebayor, he came on in the 76th minute. Walcott, he came on in the 66th minute. Flamini came on in the 83rd minute. All names I'm familiar with. Almunia was unused and Sigan was unused. And the ref that day, yeah, one of the old classic refs, Uriah Rennie, of course, was the referee. So we'll just go over to the BBC for their sort of little summing up of the game and how it went. Obviously, it's there on YouTube if you want to look at some of the highlights on this as well, although it wasn't the greatest highlights, to be honest with you. But over to the BBC. The game had got off to a fractious start, they said, before settling down with both teams spurning good chances. Henry was unusually Arsenal's main culprit, with the French striker showing his trademark pace and predatory instincts, but lacking in his execution. Well, perhaps he wasn't allowed to use his hands, I'm not too sure. He was clean through after latching onto Alexander Hieb's lofted ball after 14 minutes, only see keeper Weaver save with his leg. Arsenal keeper Jens Lehmann gave his side a scare at the other end when his goal kick struck Bernardo Carradi before rebounding back into his grateful arms. Barton's side footed agonisingly wide, and Carradi saw a header saved low down by a scrambling Lehmann as the home side threatened despite Arsenal's domination. The visitors have frequently been accused of failing to apply an end product to their play, and they showed why as their half wore on. Henry angled a drive wide, was twice let down by his poor touch in threatening positions, and saw another effort saved by Weaver as they strained to break the deadlock. Yeah, he had a good game, Weaver. Van Persie's snapshot beat Weaver but hit the post, so there we got a bit of luck as well, didn't we? Before Arsenal paid the price for their profligacy. Yeah, a crossfield ball cut out left back Hoyt, who conceded a penalty or foul on Sinclair. It's definitely a penalty. I mean, you just watch it on replay. And Barton dispatched the spot kick in off the crossbar. Yeah, he was just showing off, just smacked it in off the crossbar. City had the woodwork to thank again when the Gunners defender Colo Torre, his header came back off the crossbar while Van Persie reacts angrily to not being given a penalty for a perceived push by Richard Dunn. Oh, never, he would never push anyone. The home side could even have extended their lead on the stroke at half-time if Corradi had been more clinical with a poke shot hit straight at Lehmann. Arsenal continued to pass and probe after the break, and Van Persie dragged a shot across the goal and wide just after the hour mark as City battled to hold on to the lead. The home crowd were giving their side plenty of encouragement while Arsenal boss Arsene Wenger threw on teenager Theo Walcott. I wonder what happened to him. Walcott has twice come on to engineer late goals for his side but could not do it again as City got their goal and points tally off the mark to move off the bottom of the table. There is a little comment about a certain tackle here. Ben Thatcher's tackle on Pedro Mendes in midweek had cast a dark cloud over City, but they held on valiantly. Yeah, well, we're not going to go into great detail on that one in this programme, but against Portsmouth in the opening game at City of Manchester Stadium, Mr. Thatcher had been a bit nasty, hasn't he? It was not good to watch. Again, you can certainly watch that on YouTube as well. Thoughts on the game? Yeah, boss Stuart Pearce. They don't lose many matches, obviously meaning Arsenal, and we did it as a collective. When you beat Arsenal, you have to ride your luck a little, but I think we did that. I think after a tough couple of days, one or two people may have doubted us, but right through the front to the back of the team, I'm very proud of them. Yeah, I think, from memories, I think he's quite right. It was a hard old game and we did ride our luck, but we got the win, which is all that matters in those days. Well, all that matters now, really, isn't it, if you think about it? Arsenal manager Arsene Wenger, his little comments. We cannot finish what we create at the moment. Yeah, it became a regular problem, obviously. In the last two games, we've had a lot of possession, but have not made enough out of it through naive mistakes at the back. But there's a lot of potential in the side, and when we are completely ready, we will win these games. So there you go, that's Mr. Arsene Wenger. Some of the little stats for the game: 38% possession for City with 62 for Arsenal. City had 12 shots with 4 on target. Arsenal had 23 shots with 3 on target. City had 2 corners, Arsenal had 8. There was 18 fouls by City and 8 by Arsenal, and a couple of yellow cards. Mr. Jordan, City's Jordan got a yellow card, and Van Persie got a yellow card for being a bit irate, I think, for Arsenal. Yeah, so there you go. We did ride our luck in that little game. But at least it took us into an international break, which same then as it is now, in a much healthier position. I think we were propping up the league before the game, but we moved us up to 8th because I say some teams had only played twice, and obviously it's only 3 games in, wasn't it? Of course, Arsenal, looking at the season, will go on to have another pretty frustrating one again, finishing once again in 4th. There you go. But going out of the Champions League in the round of 16 this time after reaching the final the season before. Let's hope that doesn't happen to us going forward. They made the 5th round of the FA Cup, but did get to the League Cup final, but unfortunately lost that to Chelsea. So yeah, another frustrating, I'd rather say frustrating rather than disappointing season for Arsenal. Obviously, at least he made it to the 3rd qualifying round of the Champions League for the season after, but it did become a little bit of a trend, didn't it, with Arsenal? As for us, well, yeah, there we go. We had to finish the season in 14th. Not fantastic. We were humbled by Chesterfield in the League Cup. There you go. So no change there, City. We had an okay FA Cup run, but then if you were there at Blackburn, we sadly lost there without really looking as though we'd progress in the quarter-final of the FA Cup. So we didn't do too great there. And off the pitch, of course, there was a certain gentleman, wasn't there? A certain gentleman called Taksin Shinawatra. He was sort of waiting eagerly in the wings to sort of come in and buy the club, wasn't he? But hey, we all know that's another story anyway, isn't it? Anyway, thanks for joining me for this look back at Manchester City versus Arsenal, 26th of August 2006 in my little History Boys feature. What we've got to do the rest of the day, have a great one. Look after yourselves, look after your friends, look after your families. More importantly, let's all look after each other. So we meet here again on the Citizen channel, or perhaps have a flit across. Please, if you get a chance, have a little break from football. Watch my film and TV channel. I have lots of info and try and entertain on there as well. But I only ask one thing of you, don't I, guys? Please, stay safe, Blues. Come on, City. Thanks for watching.